The new Artfight season has finally come out, and with that, the new 2024 Artfight drama has revealed itself. This year, the problem seems to be a little bit more extensive than last year's. It seems like every year, Artfight gets a little bit more mainstream, and with that comes the issue of people taking it way too seriously or doing things that make other people uncomfortable purposely to ruin the experience for others. I've been seeing a lot of people treat Artfight as a way to get free art from popular artists or trying to get really high quality art for free without having to do much effort in return, and I feel like I need to make a video on this because Artfight's been pretty important to me for my experience as an artist. This video isn't scripted like I usually make them because I feel like talking from the heart on this is more important than making a script. I'm only 16, and I have to say, for the past 2 years, Artfight's been pretty important for me to develop my style. I've only done 14 attacks because I only get 1 or 2 attacks a year, but to me, that's important because I was able to experiment in ways I otherwise couldn't. I take commissions, but usually those commissions are the same poses, styles, expressions, and by being able to participate in a large-scale art fight, I'm able to do things I normally don't do, which is pretty important for me, and I actually really enjoy the concept of being able to attack other people and give them art that they can enjoy, and also receiving art from other people who I otherwise never would have known about. I think especially for beginner artists, Artfight is a crucial stepping stone to allowing them to make art without the restrictions they normally would be applied to. Sadly, this year's Artfight drama has been much more prevalent due to a higher social media influence, and I myself haven't been experiencing too much of it, but I have seen people who have experienced a lot of hate on their art through Artfight, and I've seen people just straight up attack people for doing mass Artfight attacks, and I feel like that goes against everything Artfight stands for. I myself own an art server of almost 900 people, so I see a lot of different styles and a lot of different art trades, and I see a lot of different Artfight attacks through our server's hosted art fights. I personally believe that if you enter an art fight, you shouldn't expect high quality art every time. You shouldn't expect it at all. Instead, you should be doing it just for the fun of it and enjoy making art and creating something to give to someone else. I feel like if you join Artfight purely for the reason to get high quality art only and to do it to farm popular artists' art that you enjoy, you're not doing it for the right reasons. I'm not saying you can't attack people with high quality art or you can't go after popular artists. As you can see in the speed paint in the background, I'm attacking an artist I've commissioned multiple times because I enjoy their art style. However, I'm not attacking them to get art back. I attack them because I actually like their art and I think their character designs are really unique. I had fun doing it, and I feel like that should be the whole point of Artfight. It's really unfortunate to me that beginner artists are being shamed for their art styles and they're not able to reach out like usual because people simply just don't want beginner art. For me, I personally really enjoy every bit of art I get on Artfight. It makes me really happy to see people who draw my characters regardless of their skill. I know personally for me, my art style has advanced millennia from what it was 2 years ago when I first began Artfight. I think it's really important that people understand that not everyone is going to have super high quality art, and that's okay. Everyone has their own style and way of doing things, and some people just want to enjoy creating, which is the whole point of Artfight in the first place. You would not believe how many beginner artists make art and either don't get a comment on it or people just straight up ignore it or delete it because they don't like the art style or they think it's not high quality enough to fit their character. And another thing I think that's really petty is that people don't realize you can put in your permissions if you don't want someone to draw your character a certain way. I've seen a lot of people this year complain about mass attacks because they're low quality pixelated. But one thing people forget is you can put in your character preferences that you don't want a mass attack. You can put in your character preferences that you don't want your character in certain pieces of media or art or portrayed in a certain way. However, I feel like if you include that with art styles, then you're not in Artfight for the right reasons. You're better off commissioning artists or doing art trade with artists that you like their style of. It's really unfortunate for me because I've never seen such a hostile environment to people just trying to have fun and create. Personally, I think it's really ugly of people to go and tell beginner artists that they don't want their art for free because they're not good enough. I think that's really stingy, and I think it's incredibly stupid when all of us started out somewhere. I don't understand the concept of, well, your art just isn't high quality enough, I don't want it. That's incredibly stupid. You have to realize as an artist, and hey, you might be a really great artist, you can render, shade, all that, that's great. But you also have to remember, we all started somewhere, and Artfight is a really great place for beginner artists to spread their wings. And if you don't appreciate beginner artists, that's okay, but this just isn't the space for you to do that. This also isn't the space for you to hate on art styles, hate on mass attacks, because those are quite common. If you don't want mass attacks or specific types of art, you can put it in your preference instead of verbally stating so and making people feel unwanted or unwelcome in a space meant to make people feel welcome in the art community. I feel like Artfight, as it's gotten more popular on social medias like TikTok and Twitter, has gone down the poopy hole because people for real just sit there and go, well, if it's not a super high quality rendered piece of art, then I don't think it's worth it. Because that's really not the point. On average, I get 1 or 2 attacks a year, and I'm thrilled with that. I think that's awesome, because I'm not joining to farm art. I'm joining because I enjoy the process of creation, and I like drawing people's characters without the need to feel like I'm doing it in a strict kind of way. I can experiment and do something different, which is nice. It's refreshing. Now with Artfight all over social media, people are joining because they think it's a good opportunity to get quick art fast and easy, and I think that's just wrong. If you want to do that, go somewhere like a Discord server and do art trades, or maybe just go to like Toy House or something and try and find people who are willing to do art trades there. Artfight is not the place for that, and it's not for drama like that. I think it's really unfortunate how people have treated beginner artists and other artists in general when this space was made for them. I think it'd be really cool if more people went on Artfight and chose to draw beginner artist OCs. I think that'd make them feel a lot more welcome into the community, which I feel like is important for this kind of environment. Let's, as a community, show some beginner artists some love. Let's get them recognized and make them feel welcome, because I feel like that's the most important thing we as artists can do, is support other artists who might not be in the same positions as us. Thank you for watching my little rant. If you like my content, feel free to subscribe, like, and comment any suggestions you might have for me to cover. As always, have a nice day, and happy art fighting!